life. Very talented young people who have decided to follow.
Then another year it starts again. Well, this is different.
We should definitely be talking to those wonderful people. Once again, we urge you to share the feed on Facebook.
Hi there, I'm Faida, and today we're going to be talking about the African diaspora in Mexico.
Whether UK likes it or not, I have to leave this country.
I became a member and a chief of the Vice Lord all in one day.
All these guys wins right out of the north at Midway Airport.
Rice and beans. Okay, kids, we have had to come to an end of this beautiful set.
So we are tired.
It's not about this.
This is the inside account of a week that brought the Rainbow Nation to its knees.
Right, essentially trying to inculcate into this. Welcome, everyone. This is the Progressive Mind Show. My name is Senna, aka Alinko. We are very excited to be coming your way this evening. Today is January 5th, 2022. The year has started well, and if it hasn't for you, I pray that from tonight you will start experiencing the best of 2022. Now, today we have dubbed our episode as the American Dream. I'm sure you may have seen the promotional materials on social media. This is a story that has been told by Africans living in America, and we have the cast, some of the cast of the show of the this movie on this show this evening. Actually, we might, I think we have the executive director or the executive producer also here. We will get to find out the details in a little bit. I'll urge you all to share the feed on Facebook if you're watching us right now, so we can promote this movie, shot and made by Africans in America. Beautiful movie, and we're going to be talking about it in a little bit. My guests this evening are Kofi Hemaje. He is now. I'm tempted to say that he's the executive director of this movie, but I'll leave it for him to tell us give us the right information. All right. So Kofi Hemaje, you're welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you. And thanks for having me on.
You're welcome, and your volume is good, but if you can amp it up a little bit, it will go a long way. And also on the show this evening is Adriana. She's one of the cast of this wonderful movie. Adriana, you're welcome to the Progressive Mind Show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great conversation, and we're looking forward to it. And next to Adriana is Jabal. Jabal, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Alinko. Happy New Year, by the way, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year, my brother. Happy New Year. Last on the list is Tony Montana. This is the This is the African version of Tony Montana. That wasn't a light side, but Tony, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you as well. Happy New Year's as well.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. So this evening we want to look at the movie, the American Dream movie. So when you see, when I first saw some of the clips that I just showed, I was super impressed. Now, prior to that, I've been seeing snippets of stuff on his page. I'm like, man, what are these guys up to? So I reached out to him, we talked, and we're here. Now, before we go into what this show is about, let's get to know who you are. Our audience would like to know who you are. But by the way, please share the feed if you're watching us, okay, so we can promote this movie. Kofi, for those who have not heard or seen you before, who is Kofi Hemaje in a nutshell? If you can make that briefly for us.
Oh, sure. Well, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kofi Hemaje, aka Fiery. Most on social media, people know me as Fiery. I was born and raised in Togo, and I came to the U.S. at the age of 19. I'm a graduate in networking, and I'm also a computer engineer as a profession. Although I enjoy and like very much what I do, I also have passion for photography and filmmaking. So that's what brought us to here today. I have made and produced 3 movies that are currently running on Amazon Prime, and I'm really grateful to my team, and I have some of the team live with me today. So we're here to discuss that movie. Thank you.
No, thank you so much for that brief introduction. Let's feel free to talk about family, okay? Family, hobbies, social activities, anything that we love to do in particular. I know you all like to party, you all like to go to Afro, what's the name?
Afrobeats.
Afrobeats, yes, baseline. Now, to be honest, I haven't seen none of you there. I'm just making this up. But let's briefly talk about, social life again, sports, whatever. Adriana, please.
Well, I have been to one Afrobeat event before with actually my best friend. She's Nigerian. She's from Africa. And it was my first time going. I personally am not African, but I am Hispanic. My family, we originate from Central America in Honduras. I do believe that I have African ancestry in my blood because I've always been drawn to the African culture. But I've been to one of those events before, but I am a dancer. I've gone through my clubbing phase of going out dancing and everything. Now I enjoy a little bit more of like peace and quiet and watching fantastic movies like Kofi's movies, like Byree's movies.
Okay. And by profession, you are a model?
I mean, well, yes, it's one of my passions, but professionally right now I am investing in real estate. I am a real estate broker in the state of Illinois. But yes, I've always been involved in modeling here and there, and I'm grateful to be back into it now, especially with Mars View Studio, because I feel it's the right time for me now more than ever.
Awesome. Tony.
Yes. Hi. So I am Jamaican by birth, and African culture in general, Nigerian, Kenyan, have always been integrated into those cultures for projects I've done, whether it was there or something that was happening back in Illinois, and just transplanted to Florida area recently, just less than a year ago. So in terms of just relaxing for me, just having fun, is just relaxing, watching a good movie.
Yeah, no, that's like that. It's watching a good movie, not going to baseline, not going to Afrobeat like Adriana. So, okay, cool. Jabal.
Hey, so Jabal, that's my artist name. My name is Willie Cedric, and I'm originally from Cameroon in the Central West Africa.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say my hobby is music most of the time and soccer. I play a bunch of different instruments and I sing. Uh, I play soccer a lot and I know baseline because I've been there a couple of times. Yeah, so yeah, I've been involved in this kind of movie industry through Fiery, through
Mm.
Kofi.
Mm.
Yeah, who found out that I can be a member of his team,
Mm.
and I'm very glad about that. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm grateful about that, and yeah, here we are today.
No, that's very powerful. So one thing I gather from all the introduction you guys gave, is the African connectivity, the heritage, which is powerful. And on another set, we can have, because here is the home for diaspora conversations. We have these dialogues, often, and we're going to be having one very soon. So the connectivities and the power is there. Kofi, how did you? First of all, you are the executive producer of the American Dream. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Uh, Mars Studio. Now, for the purposes of this interview, I'll just call I'll call you. I refer to your nickname, Fiery. It's fair because I go by Alinko, which is my nickname too. So we're squared out. We even. It's fair. Um, Mars V Studio has been existent for 5 years.
Yeah, 6 now.
6 years. You have a location, a particular location.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Now, what is the vision behind Mars View Studio? Briefly, if you don't mind.
Okay. Well, first of all, I started as a photographer, and well, when I'll go back a little bit, while I was growing up, I used to draw, and I was a drawing artist when I was growing up. So when I got here in the U.S., you know, I had to adapt to the new country. So I kind of put the drawing to the side. But when I was introduced to a camera, that's when I found out that okay, this is what I really wanted to do.
Okay.
So I started as a photographer, but I know I can't. I needed something that would last for a lifetime.
Mm.
So that's when I realized okay, I needed to create a company,
Mm.
and that's when Marsville Studio came into an existence.
Okay.
And from there, we start making movies.
So you said you have 2 movies already.
Yes, we actually have 2 movies already.
Can you name them, please, real quick?
We have The American Dream, Part 1 and 2,
Okay.
and we have The Standoff.
Okay. The stand. Okay. So
Yes,
so the American Dream is the latest movie,
correct.
and so what we are going to be talking about is the part. So the part 1 is done. You're about to do the part 2, or both are ready.
Both already done, and they're running on Amazon Prime.
Fine, right now. How did you come about, locating Adriana, Tony, and Jabal? Jabal, I think you may have to work on your thing, Jabal. But go ahead, Kofi.
Oh, okay. So Tony, I believe Tony actually find me, right? If I'm not mistaken,
Mhm.
I think Tony find me on Facebook, I believe,
Mhm.
and that's how we got connected.
Okay.
And since then, I've been her photographer. I've been through her events. She does amazing things. So we kind of take it from there, and we back each other's. She's one of the person that really, really support us with this movie. She does a lot of publicity for us, a lot of radio interview, and things like that.
So
That's
so
how
so
we
so, so
know.
Tony is into events and stuff. Tony, is that what you do on the side? Professionally, let me put it that way.
Yes.
Yeah, Tony, we can hear you now.
So perfect. When I Okay, can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
Yeah, so when I originally met Kofi, I owned a company called Peer, and we were doing branding consulting around the world. And then we had a global event So when I met him, he was doing photography under Mars View at the time. And so that's how we started linking up, doing photography for my events, performing at my events as well. And then over time, I learned more about his studio. So I started referring a lot of my clients, which were CEOs for companies. So I would link him to them as well, to work with him as they were kind of rebranding themselves image-wise as well.
Okay, thank you. Adriana, how did you connect with Fiery?
Interestingly enough, I connected with Fiery through his wife. I met her one day at my best friend, who I spoke of earlier, mentioned earlier, at her home, and she came over. We clicked, and I told her how I've done modeling in the past, and I've been in the industry, but never really dived in full into it. And now how I felt a little more confident with myself, and I've gone through experiences where I feel more grounded. And so she happened to say, "Oh, well, you know what? My husband has Mars View Studio and he's always looking for talent. So I would like to connect you with him." And that's how we hit it off. We had a photo shoot that Fiery and I did together, which was honestly the best photo shoot I have been a part of. I felt so comfortable with him. I felt I was in the zone, with him, and it was just an instant professional connection. And I'm
Okay.
sure as Jabal and Tony, they feel the same as I. We believe in Fiery and his vision, and we appreciate him for being so
Yeah.
respectful and
And
talented.
Jabal, thank you so much for sharing, Adriana. And Jabal, I'm sure you met at maybe an African event, festival, or soccer tournament, something like that.
Yeah, the thing is, the way I met Fiery was different, first of all, I'm so sorry to call him Fiery all the time because that's how we all call him.
That's fine. Yeah, go
It's
ahead.
pretty easy, yeah. So, yeah, because he's known as Kofi. And so I met him for the first time at Baseline, real talk. And I don't even think he knows it. I met him there, and he was at that time back in the days. It was like maybe 4 to 5 years ago now. Fiery was taking pictures at Baseline, and I noticed the guy, but I didn't know him, so I didn't talk to him. And one day, a friend of mine, I was doing a show somewhere in town, performing somewhere, and a friend of mine invited Kofi over, and he was there to take pictures and videos of my performance. And that's when we connected. We started talking, and I felt very very interested after the first movie from Fiery. That was the American Dream Part One. It was very very interesting, but at that time we were like always in communication, talking to each other, texting from time to time to know exactly what he's doing, if he's available to come and shoot, take pictures for one of my shows. So yeah, that's how we linked up together.
So thank you so much. I wanted to get this connection established to the point that it seemed as though the African diaspora or the African community is not as close knitted, or we don't seem to be working together as we should, and as compared to other ethnic groups. And so we all know this, the unity, the cohesion, the slow friction, either within the African community itself or the diaspora, which is the bigger community. And so thank you all for sharing and making this connection. Of course, you are all attesting to the goodwill of Marsview Studio. He does have a good personality and a professional, and I'm glad to be working with you, my brother, for some time now. So prior to you coming to America, let me ask you, Jabal, I'm sure you had a perception about the American dream, or the life in America. Did that change for you once you were here?
I would say yes. I'm going to say yes because right away when I landed in Chicago, because I came straight from Cameroon to Chicago, once I landed, there was like a big difference. You know, there's like when you come from a place where you were born and raised for over 20 years, you feel like uh these like that's the world to you. That's the world to you. And then you move to a new place and you discover there are many things different from your childhood till when you grew up and everything. And it's a shock at first. And then with the time you realize that you're into a new system because you have to adapt yourself to the realities, which makes things a little bit different and sometimes hard and difficult, you know.
How, how,
And
how long have you been here?
so I got in Chicago in 2017.
17.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and
Would you
yeah,
say
that
that?
was.
Yeah. So the difference. So you're talking about the culture shock, which I experienced too.
Mhm.
Are you still experiencing the culture shock, or you think that you are settled in now?
I would say that I'm at a certain point, I'm set already, but I'm still learning because we learn every day. We're still learning. Life is like a journey, and I've learned enough, I would say, to feel myself in the system now. But you know, first of all, French is my primary language. I
Okay.
have some difficulties sometimes to embrace English and speak fluently like everybody does. But yeah, I would say to a certain point, I'm set already, you know.
Okay.
So I'm not like on my first day.
How about you, Tony?
So, hello.
Yeah.
So sorry you're going out.
No, we can hear you now.
Oh yes, can you
Okay.
repeat the question? You're going.
No,
Sorry.
no. I'm just saying your perception about America prior to you coming here, and then once you got in, did it change for you? And have you settled in? Would you say you've settled in already so far?
Right. So, back home in Jamaica, a lot of people feel like, America is kind of where you can make their dreams happen. So there's always that eagerness to come here. What I found from here, of course, I straight from a warm weather to Chicago with snow. So my first thing was it's so much different. And then when it came to like the labor force, definitely different here as well. And you can kind of see some of that in the movie as it evolves and goes throughout different periods in the movie as well. Just in terms of what that person experienced versus what my personal experience is in terms of really having to work hard from the ground up to really build yourself. It's no one is just like handing anything to you. So that fantasy that you maybe have back home, it's kind of wiped away when you really come. You have to put yourself through school or work or find a job and really establish yourself.
Very, yeah. That's a very great point that I can attest to. Would you excuse me? Would you say that it's more? Of course, obviously it's much. It's less stressful in, let's say, I'm from Ghana, other African countries and Jamaica. Coming here, like you said, you have to work, you have to pay for everything. Nobody gives you anything. You can't go to anybody's home to get food. You have to find everything you do. You have to get it yourself. Would you say that having gone through that, would you say that you appreciate that training that is giving you compared to if you had stayed in Jamaica? I mean, I just want to know.
Yeah, you definitely have a little bit more appreciation.
Okay.
Because of course the two cultures are so different. Here, you definitely have to really evolve a little bit more. I think back home, the resources are a little bit limited, so you're not as prone to really grow, even if you wanted to, because there's certain blockage because of socioeconomic barriers or just the economy itself. So I think there's definitely a great appreciation there.
Thank you so much for sharing. Adriana, I know you were born here. Um, Honduras, you're right. I mean, everywhere the black people, the connection goes back to Africa, and so we are Africans. But the thing is, I'm sure your experience here um, is different. Being when it comes to your ethnic group, having to go through the struggles that brown people, brown skinned people, or black people go through. Well, I'm sure it was a little different from you, different for you, even though your parents are from Honduras. Would you say that is accurate, or?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of similarities that I could probably went through, and maybe what Jabal or Tony went through, or even Fiery as well, and yourself. I come from a family where I was the only one born here. I have two older sisters, and they were born in Honduras as well. And so my father came here to the United States pursuing the American dream. And 5 years later, my mother and my two sisters joined him. And then I was born here. I was the reunited baby. But growing up, I definitely had to work a lot to get the things that I wanted for myself, because I kind of just knew that I couldn't really ask for my parents for things, because they were so hardworking and they were always working hard to make sure that we all had our basic necessities met. So I've also been able to travel back to Honduras and visit with my extended family over there, and I've seen the poverty over there. And so definitely traveling over there, spending time over there in poor neighborhoods, and then coming here to America, I definitely have a greater appreciation for America.
So, yeah. So a lot of
I
times,
was born here, but I didn't have it. I wasn't given everything. I'm sure a lot of people who can relate to me too, who come from a family who migrated here, but they were born here. I'm sure they can relate to me where, we weren't given everything either. We had to work. I mean, in high school, I started working because I wanted to buy my own things. I knew I couldn't ask my parents for it. So
right.
and I greatly appreciate my parents a lot more now that I'm fully independent, because I'm sure, as all of you know, I mean, when you become independent, it's more responsibility on top of responsibility. So I appreciate my parents even more for doing that sacrifice and moving here and just leaving everything behind and being courageous and brave to be here to provide a better future for my sisters and I.
We will come back and have a broader conversation on our relationships when it comes to the diaspora. But for those of you who came here, Tony, Jabal, and Kofi, what were your perception, let's say, with African Americans and even Caribbeans as Africans? What was your perception? And once you got in, how has your relationship, and let me put it this way, what was your perception? And has that perception changed, or is still the same? I'll start with you, Kofi.
Okay. So when I was back home, the perspective that I have of America is different than when I got here, what I saw.
But specifically African Americans and Caribbeans, because I mean, when it comes to relationship wise or heritage wise, Africans and Caribbeans, the diaspora, we share a common heritage. So I want to zero in on Black folks in America. What did you know about them? What was your perception about fellow Blacks here? And once you got in, has that perception changed, or is still the same?
Okay, so what perspective I have of them was a negative one, because based on what I've been shown, based on what I've been told. But when I got here, I figured that that's not true. I actually got along well with the Black American people. I have a lot of friends who are Black American, and we got along great. So I would say definitely the perspective I had before, it definitely has changed.
Thank you. Jabal.
Yes, if I can say something, that's a very good question, because when we're back home, there are things that we have a perception that we can have uh, due to the fact that we're watching TV, and then we see a lot of things. For example, I grew up watching movies, American movies. When I was thinking about America, through those movies, was like a very big place. Everything is big over there. Everything is big. Yeah, that's how I was seeing things. And I used to watch movies where they were given like a certain image of black people. Like black people is kind of drawn as the bad people. They was drew like a bad, only bad people. Black people are only doing bad things all the time. So my perception was like, I won't be surprised if I get there one day and I see some black people doing those things, because they showed me that on TV already. So I had that perception. It's the same like when you talk to a kid born and raised in America, he would tell you a lot of things that never happened in Africa. Like, oh, you guys sleep with lions. I have kids who told me that before. Yeah, you guys sleep with lions. You guys do this and that. You don't even have roads, but they don't know it until one day they will get there and see by themselves and realize that it was a lie the whole time.
Right.
So the perception I had about my fellow black people was a very bad idea until I got here and I realized all amongst the Americans, black people uh like are like everybody. Like you have goods and bad people everywhere. So it's the same. You shouldn't be surprised to see that some people don't know how to follow the rules on the black people side or any other races side.
Right.
So yeah, that's a little bit what I can say.
That is very powerful, very powerful. And I share the same perception and share the same view. And again, we would go into further details when we come back and have that conversation. But today, I just wanted to touch base on this because the movie you made is a black story, it's an African story, and I think that it's good to have a background of where we're coming from, who we are, and how we are all connected. Okay, so Tony, how was that experience for you? If you heard, if you want me to repeat the question, I can because I know your speed was had a little glitch problem issues.
Yeah, so coming from Jamaica, I think the emphasis for us was on the Caucasian race. Um, I was kind of shocked when I came, and here was a little bit more difficult integrating with African American community because of my accent, and then in an area that I would say was not really exposed to other types of blacks that maybe be non-American. So it's a little bit challenging as well because of the reading in class and pronouncing words very differently, the little bit of a language and accent barriers. But in general, the perception to me was a good one that I had back home in general. And then coming here, I don't think anything really changed. It was just more so identifying the fact that we have different background and historical maybe emphasis. I think some people are shocked that back in Jamaica we weren't really, taught in school about Martin Luther King or things like that, and so they were kind of like, "You're black, you don't know that." So some of it was just kind of shocking to them to try and really, let them know like our history is a little bit different and emphasis is a little bit different, so people don't think you're ignorant, like you don't know these things.
Right.
And it wasn't that you don't know these things; it's just that you were taught a different angle of Black history based on what your perspective country you came from had to go through and what that person, that particular country had to go through. So I think for a while, all the way through my teenage years, I had to constantly try and assimilate myself with the African American population by also learning American, history and being able to really relate to what they were exposed to here over time.
Very, very powerful. Adriana, I know you grew up here, so it wasn't that much of a struggle for you, right?
No, not at all. But I will say that being around African American and now African people, I have heard where, you know, I've noticed that people who are from Africa, they want to make sure that everyone is aware I'm African. I am not African American. I've noticed that. And I always wondered, well, what's, you know, what's the difference? I thought we all come from the same, you know, the same place, but obviously there is a difference, especially if in each country things are being taught differently, like Tony just mentioned.
Yeah.
Hey, Aliko, if I can say something just after Adriana, exactly on that same point, is that when I got in Chicago, I realized something so funny is that black people are all the same everywhere. To me, they are the same everywhere. I'm gonna take an example, which is like when when you go to Africa, you realize some Africans, I mean, almost everyone is always on the road or maybe on the streets, you know, in front of their houses, talking in family, always doing that. And it is the same here. When you go on the west side, you see everybody's out. They all like, that's something I noticed that, and I was talking to my mind, like, why are we so the same everywhere? Like, why do we do the same things? Like, I know these are my people because they do everything that like we do back home. So there was not that much a difference to me.
No, you're so right. Adriana, you made a powerful point. Say Africans like to, typically it's most Africans, I'm African. They want to make sure that you know that I'm not
African American. I'm African. And then and then also, you know, I'm Nigerian or I'm from Ghana. Like, you gotta get more.
There you go. So we have that.
Which I completely support. You know, there has to be that pride.
Oh yeah.
So, and I get it. I get it.
But there's also this underlying issue which makes us
that make people react.
Which makes us want to place more emphasis, right? But again, we would reserve that for the next platform. Next week, Wednesday, I'm treating that. And if you are available, you know, we can get you on the show. But next week is when I want to treat this subject matter, Africans and African Americans. But the main reason why we're here is the American Dream movie you guys made. And I'm sure that it stemmed from some of these things we have already talked about. So whose idea was it? I know some of you are the cast, and obviously, Kofi, it might be you, but where did it come from? Did you have some bad experience at work? Did your wife or an ex-girlfriend you were dealing with give you an experience that motivated you to do this movie? Or it was just a dream that you had coming from Africa?
Well, that's a good question. I would say that I started writing the American Dream based on my experience in the U.S. I didn't just wake up one morning and say, oh, okay, I'm going to write the American Dream. No, it has been something that has been in progress, something that has been happening in my life throughout my year in the U.S.
Okay.
So I got to the point where I say, okay, I need to put it on the screen. I need to let people know my story. I need to tell people how it is to live in the U.S. I need to make people aware of the American Dream, that it is not just, but it's not by chance, but it is something that you have to work for. You have to take a risk for you to live the American Dream. It is something that you have to create before you can live it. So that's how I started writing the American Dream.
So you wrote this whole storyline yourself?
Yes, I did. I wrote the whole story, the part 1, the part 2, and then from there I got the cast, and then we start shooting it.
That's very impressive. You know, the reason why I say so is that you are a French-speaking person, and I know that, again, that's another subject. Africa, we have French people, we have Anglophones, and we have Portuguese and all of that. But you know, we're growing, we're coming out of that gradually. But coming from a Francophone speaking country and coming here, I'm sure English is your second language, so you had to study in English and do all of that. and then being able to write a whole story in that in a whole movie in English, I give you special applause for that. But that being said, um, did you? I'm sure you had the profiles, you had a cast in your mind, and how difficult was it for you to plug people to fill in these profiles that you were looking for your movie?
Basically, it wasn't that difficult because I've been working with few people
Mm.
before, so I kind of know everyone. Um, I would say I kind of know where they can fit in.
Okay.
Um, like I'll take an example, like Adriana, for example. She's one of the cast members. When I start working with her, I already saw her potential, so I know okay, she can fit in this position. And based on all the people that I work with, I know their potential. I know where they can fit in. And even it comes to the point where when I tell them that, can you play this? They take a look at it, they go like, oh, that's me. So it wasn't that difficult for me to plug people in.
Awesome. Did you take movie? Did you take classes in movie directing, anything of that sort here?
No, I haven't taken any movie directing classes. I have never taken acting
Anything? Okay.
classes.
But
Nothing.
personally, you are a fine artist, and so you just had this vision and you started putting it in writing, and now you were directing. How was funding for this movie?
Oh, that one was difficult.
Okay.
I have to spend all my pennies.
Right. Now that's one of the things that we can talk about as well. So let's talk about what character is Adriana in the movie? Adriana, let me come to you. What character are you in this American Dream movie?
I am in the American Dream Part 2,
Mhm.
and I play Kofi's girlfriend
Okay.
that he had in his life after he I don't want to give any spoils out. I mean, people can watch the movie, but I play one of his girlfriends
Okay, you did.
in the American Dream Part 2.
Okay. How about you, Tony?
Started off with Kofi, like I said, for other business. And then for this movie, it was more so publicity under my then company, Widow Peer, doing a lot of the designing of the cover for the actual movie, the digital cover plates, and then just working around like different, just publicity, marketing, branding, social media push, things like that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Jabal, I'm guessing you were a drummer in that movie. Just
No, unfortunately, not this time. Maybe in the, in Kofi's future movies. Yeah, but on the American Dream Part Two, I was playing the role of a friend, a very close friend of Kofi. At work, everybody, almost everyone at work has someone who is closer to him, and so I'm playing that role, that character. Um, I'm a good friend. He can relate to me if he needs advices and stuff like that.
um okay, so let me get back here. I'm trying to get us to see what's actually in the movie, but sorry, we're having a little bit of glitch. Sometimes we do have this experience. You were watching the Progressive Mind show, and I think we're getting some feedback here. Please bear with me. Okay, great. You're watching the Progressive Mind show. Every Wednesday, we're here from 6 to 8 p.m. Sundays from 4 to 6. We're taking a short break on the Sunday shows because I need to get my strength back. I've been a little bit under the weather. We've also had to go through a lot in getting production coming every week. So if you are watching and you have any type of skill set, you want to volunteer, help out with the Progressive Minds in any form, please reach out to us at info.progressiveminds@gmail.com, or you can visit our website, social media platforms. Reach out to us. It will go a long way. And again, ways of volunteering. In social media, business development, marketing, production. More importantly, we are 501c, and so your donations to us will go a long way. We're still are yet to file our taxes. So it's not too late. Drop a few thousands there, and you should be able to file your tax with it. Should we? Yeah. No, but more importantly, please support us because we heavily rely on your support in order to bring in these shows. And without it, we have to self-fund it. And I know, so Kofi, I know what you, Fiery, I know what you're going through in terms of this movie. We always have to self-fund and then and produce and bring out to get our visions out there, right? To see our visions come to reality. So any support would go a long way. The website is theprogressivemindShow.com or thepmsshow.com. Also want to remind our audience that we were going to have the exchange ceremony on the 5th of February, but the Omicron situation, the COVID situation is still on the spike, so we are talking, we might have to move the event probably to June, because we don't know how things would are playing, but we don't know how this will play out in a month or two with regards to the spike we're seeing in the new variant. So we'll be putting the announcement on our social media as to what we'll be doing with the exchange ceremony. The exchange ceremony, for those of you who don't know, is in 2019 when it was 400 years, and it was also the year of return. We brought Africans, Caribbeans, African Americans, and Afro-Latinx together to celebrate our culture. And we meant to do it every year so that we can always come together to celebrate our beauty and our culture as African diasporans. And so that is the, but we're not able to, we may not be able to do it this year at Rainbow Push as we have planned. So stay tuned. We'll be giving you further information on this. This evening, we are talking to the cast, some of the members of The American Dream. It's a new movie out. It's an African movie shot right here. I'm sure you've heard of other African movies, but this one is special. It's Africans telling our story about the American Dream. And so you might want to look it up. It's on Amazon, my brother. Amazon, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. That said,
Amazon Prime Video.
So let's look at some of the challenges in shooting this video. First of all, how long did it take to get the part 1 out?
You mean in terms of shooting the part 1, or?
Yeah, the part 1 of The American Dream. You said they are in 2 parts, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. So the first part, how long did it take, to get it out?
The first part, it takes about a week to shoot it.
Okay.
But to get everything ready and to throw it out there, roughly, it depends on how fast we're going, because we also have our day job, and
yes,
we also have family. We got kids, we got wife, we got things like that. So approximately for us to get the first one out, it wasn't within a month or 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was talking about the challenges. Any particular challenge or funny, interesting story that any of you want to share? Something that happened during the cast, something significant that any of you want to share? I know Jabal is smiling, but what were the challenges? Adriana, you want to tell us some of these challenges whilst shooting this movie?
Well, we really didn't have challenges the day I was shooting. The other people who were present. I guess we were filming in downtown, so I guess parking was kind of a challenge, having to find where to park. And then we did do a little scene where we were in the car. So there was one point where we kind of had to put the emergency lights in front of a fire hydrant. But we had a pretty smooth day that day.
Thank you. Jabbar, any challenges? And also, while you were going to respond to that, what does the American Dream movie entail? What story are you trying to share for you personally, Jabbar?
Okay, that's a good question. When we were doing this movie, there were so many funny times that we really had fun, believe me. It was my very first time to be casted for a movie, so I had to work on my character, which wasn't that big, but and because I was new in that field, I had to like get into the job, trying to know exactly what to do. And so Kofi helped me a lot about that. Now to go to the question you asked me, this movie, I got very interested since the beginning because
Have any proof?
Kofi,
Check your WhatsApp.
I'm sorry. Go
Kofi,
ahead.
yes, because Kofi was in his character, he's playing almost everything. I would say everybody can relate a little bit to the character of Kofi on that movie. I mean, every immigrant coming in this country, we all have been through one or maybe more pieces of the character of Kofi.
Mm,
And I could see it. Yes, I could see it. And that's why I feel like he's a little bit talking about my story as well. You
mm,
know, there are many different points, but it's almost the same. We've been through the same, how trying to get yourself in the system, trying to learn about how people are living and behaving in this country, what to avoid, what you should know if you want to do whatever you want to do. And it was a very, very interesting experience doing this movie
mm,
because I felt like we are actually showing what we've been through, and if this can help people understand what we're going through every time
mm,
there's a new immigrant in this country, then this is just great.
mm. That's
Yeah.
that's very powerful. Tony, I'm going to come to you, but I want us to take a glimpse at what's in the American Dream Part One.
You know what? I think you're losing your mind. Over a damn picture.
No, that's not just a damn picture.
And this is your luggage.
What happened? You fight with your girlfriend again?
I mean, you're my best friend. Thank you.
Faris very sick, please.
I don't care.
Okay, so the standoff is the first movie. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that was my bad, listeners, viewers. I would get you. I'll try. I think I have the American Dream. I'll try and get that one. So this is the standoff, and this is also part of another aspect of the American story. Is that correct?
This is actually a separate movie from the American Dream.
Mm,
This is
okay.
just a story that I wrote and then we shot it.
What's the inspiration behind the story?
Um, Basically, I'm trying to portray the difficulty in relationship, um, and families and jealousies, and it all tied up to relationship.
Okay. Okay. So let's see if we can. Okay, this is the American Dream. If I'm correct.
Yes.
This one right here. Okay. Let's see if we can get it. Okay. So is it the your experience with regards to finding a job, how and having to adjust to the work. Is that what was portrayed in this scene?
That is correct. The American Dream Part One, which you just shown right now, that's the preview, and most of the thing that were portrayed in that is how to find a job, and when you first arrive in the U.S., all the struggle that you go through, because you have to settle in. If you're not settled in, you can't really do anything. Basically, you have to forget about whatever you were doing before back home
Yeah.
and try to embrace the new culture, the new country.
Yeah.
If you don't, you just gonna have a hard time. So that's what is portrayed in the part one.
Jabal, do you think that in Africa, you think that the African works differently in America compared to back home? Our work attitude, do you think that is different in terms of working hard and being diligent and being professional? You see a difference?
Yes, I would say I see a big difference. When we're back, first of all, I think Africans are very hard workers.
Okay.
And yeah, we dedicate ourselves. When we get a job, we put ourselves 100% in it. And coming in this country, it's a big opportunity because America is the land of opportunities. And when you come here, you realize the chance that you have, how lucky you are for being here and being between all those opportunities. And we have that conception back home that if we don't have jobs over there and we can get jobs here, then we need to work hard. Also, because some of us have to take care of the family back home, and you need to, if you cannot have money, and when you come here, they think that, okay, you're coming to make money. So you have to put yourself into that and work hard to provide for them, and also make sure that yourself, you provide for yourself. So it's a little bit different. The way we're working here is like we're coming into a challenge with ourselves, first of all. Yeah, coming into a challenge with ourselves, coming into a challenge for our people back home, because we need to prove to ourselves that we had this chance. We're gonna take advantage of this chance like no one before, like anyone coming from Africa would do, because yeah, it's like a one-time chance that you have. What would you do with that? So every African coming in this country wants to take advantage of that. That's the first thing for most of Africans that I know.
Yeah.
And then when Africans are here, it's so difficult. It's rare. I would say it's rare to see an African guy doing something that's not rewarding, or maybe something where it's not getting money. Yeah, because you feel like, no, you will be wasting your time. Hey, look, if this chance that I have was given to someone else, it would probably be taking a very good advantage of it. So I should make sure that I'm profiting of this. So,
and I think you're right. And I think if we Africans on the continent can treat work the way we do here, can treat work same way the way we treat work here on the continent of Africa, I think it will help in our development a lot.
That's true, but it's not easy at all for them as well. Like in some countries, I'm taking the example of Cameroon. I see some jobs here, and I sometimes think like, if I could only have all my friends from school in the United States right now, maybe Americans would not have jobs because we will be doing everything.
You'll be working, doing all the jobs.
everything, because that's the only thing they need back home. They want to have jobs.
Would you also agree with me that, great point. That's true. Africa has the most youth population in the entire world. Very true. Unemployment super high. Literacy super high. mostly because most of our leaders are corrupt. But
exactly,
don't you also think that the way we treat work, the culture or the work attitude in Africa can be improved in the sense that for those who already have jobs, if you attest with me, I don't think that we treat our jobs back home with all the diligence that we do to the jobs in America. I don't know if you agree with me.
I would say, yeah, I agree. I would say 50%. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason is because, yeah, what you're saying is like we should start having this American mindset of creating things.
Yes.
Yes. But I would say that the problem is not really, it's not really like the population. We have some an education system which is not helping us thinking of creating the resources, creating the riches. Yes.
Yeah.
And
yeah, can I say something to that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I would have to agree with Jabal. I understand what you're saying, Alinko, correct?
Yeah, Alinko.
But with my experience, when I traveled back home, my cousins, you know, they're young and they're extremely hardworking. But I do see that there is a difference back home. The resources are not as accessible as they are here in America to get money, you know, easier in a sense. Now, I do feel like a lot of people have a misconception, people who are not from America and they're trying to get to America. There are a lot of people who I feel think that, oh, we're not going to have to work that hard. You know, money's going to be easy to get, you know, to work hard here too. I just think that the resources are there are a lot more resources here at hand for people who are in the lower, middle, or upper class. There's just a lot of more resources that we can take advantage of here, which is why I think it's called the land of opportunity. That's why I have a greater appreciation for it now that I've traveled back to Honduras, where my family is from, because I was able to see that resources are slightly, like, they are more limited there than they are here. And I do agree with you where it's most, you know, one of the reasons maybe because leadership, there's corruption in leadership, but I do believe there's corruption everywhere.
No, that's true.
I just feel like there's a lot more freedom here to be able to seek an opportunity and make money out of pretty much anything.
No, that
become an entrepreneur. And
yes. We have tons of opportunities here, and you were right in all that you were saying. I think what I'm looking
sorry, just one more thing. Maybe the reason why probably people who come from another country here, they work so much harder here and they have so much more, they place so much more effort and so much more dedication here is because they see that the resources are easier here to come across than they would be back home.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, I want to say my point was mostly about like the educational system in Africa.
Okay.
Because we didn't learn at school how to create the riches and taking advantage of a system and thinking of creating jobs. We learn at school how to just have the degree and wait for a job.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah, and that's why I'm like I don't really blame Africans. And that's why when they come here, no matter what they find, it's like something they were used to do back home, like looking for anything to do. So when they come here, if they have the degree or not, they just want to get into whatever they find. And that mindset will not, I don't think it will help Africans and the African continent to be developed. And, you know, it's us, immigrants who are here now, who have to teach them how to get into to think about those things, to have that mindset of creating the stuff. And especially, I'm gonna take an example. You have Africans back home when they're talking about the iPhone Pro Max 13, for example, they just want to have that phone. You see, and do selfies and create profiles on social medias. They don't really see the importance of having a phone. Everything that you can do with a phone, only a phone, like you can start. I mean, there are so many things that young people do nowadays with the phone, but
Yeah.
Africans don't know it. They don't. They think it's just to have like take selfies and just showing off on social medias. You see, that's a very big problem, and that now that we have to, we us Africans in America, we have to teach them a little
Yeah.
bit how to take advantage of anything that can be around them, because they can use anything to become someone. Can you just use like how do we call those cassava from farms and create something with that, and that would kind of being that will become a revolution in the world.
Yeah.
And yeah, just make them have that mindset. If
Yeah.
it was in French, I could explain a
I
little
know.
more better. Yeah.
I know. Feel free. Feel free to throw some French in there. No, I think you're all right. And I want to be, because we're on air, so I want to be very specific when I talk about these things. So to our viewers, we are not digressing. The American dream, what we're saying is not digressing at all. It's tied into the American dream and why this movie was made, because we're looking at the differences in culture and work attitude back in Africa and here. And it's not to put anybody down. It is what it is. It's a situation. Africans are trying and thriving, hard workers, great people, and all of that. The point specifically I want to make is our priority, which Jabbar, you said eloquently, right? We sometimes misplace our priorities, and like you said, we have Pro iPhone, Pro Max, all of that. We have all these things, and when we get them, when the youth of Africa, typically when they get these phones, they want it, regardless of the price of it. And sometimes even when the price is high, they think it's easy for us to get a $2,000 phone or $1,000 phone, right? They think it's easy for us to be able to afford it, so they want us to send it to them. And when they receive it, like you said, instead of being creative with it, because the creativity is in us, but they post they do all types of funny things and non-productive things with their phone, right?
Exactly.
Right. So I get it, and also the value of work. So, like you said, we were trained to go to school and behave a certain way, look for a certain type of job, be an accountant, be a marketer and work in a market firm, or be an engineer, doctor, lawyer. And if you get into any other profession, let's say you want to become a plumber, or you are good at you're a handyman, and you create things like Fiery said, he's a fine artist. Let's say if he wanted to develop that, the African society does not place value on those type of work. If you are not a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, you are not, or work in a bank, you see, they don't look at you the same way. They don't place the same value that will place on an accountant on the one who's a plumber or the painter or the carpenter, right? Or even if you're a mechanic, they look at you a certain way, And so I think that's what I want us to look at. That work is work. The ones that you can do with your hand, the one that you went to school for, is us placing a lot of value and respect to what we do as work. And the attitude of we go to work at 8 a.m. We're supposed to be at work at 8 a.m. An African can show up at 9:30, and that's fine. Right? And you're supposed to go on lunch from 12 to 1. He leaves at 12 or 12:30 and comes back at 2. And after a few hours, instead of leaving at 5, he can leave at 4:30, and he doesn't come back to the next day. Jabal, is this true or false?
I would say it's true. It's definitely true.
So that's the point that I'm making, right? Because in America, you can leave work at a certain time and come at your own time.
No,
we wouldn't do it. And all I'm saying is, yes, if we won't do it here,
you'll get fired.
There you go.
Or written up. You'll get warnings first, but
right. Okay. But in Africa, we take it for granted, right? Because
so much.
the boss thinks that, oh, if I fire you, you don't have a job, or you come, oh boss, please, please, please. Okay, no, like you guys, yeah,
Can I add to that?
yeah.
Yeah, I think we're African. We're more laid back, and also we don't hold ourselves accountable,
There you go.
and we don't take responsibility.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I went back home. I believe it was last year. I went back home, and I supposed to meet up with a couple of friends, and we set the time. So at 10 a.m., I was already up, and I was already waiting for them, and they're not there. I called them up. They say, "Oh, we're just getting up." I'm like, "What?"
It's actually in the movie, The American Dream, you getting late. It's part of the movie too.
We're just getting up.
Exactly.
So I just told her, you know what, forget about it, because I have other plans. And like that, we just missed the whole day like that.
There you go.
And the next day, they'll blame it on me. That I didn't wait for them. They're telling everybody that I just left. And then I'm like, come on, we set a time. So I think that's one of our problems.
That is the mindset I am talking about that we ought to change.
Yeah.
So that, like you said, when Jabal, Kofi, Adriana, when we go home, they think that they make us look like we are stupid or we are odd.
Or we're crazy.
Like we're crazy for
Yes.
for acting right or trying to do some things, contrary to what we're used to. And go ahead, Jabal.
Yeah, and actually, the movie, as Adriana was saying, the movie talks a lot about that. The character of Fiery on the American Dream Part 1 is showing exactly that mindset. So he came from Africa with that typically, I would say, lower mindset, thinking that I can go to work at any time, the time I want. I just show up at work. But he got surprised by the boss, who told him like, "Hey, it's not. I don't know where you're coming from, but it's not going to be like that over here. You will have to get, to come and work early in the morning, on time, and make sure that I don't catch you the next time, or otherwise you're gonna get fired."
Yeah,
and when we learn from that, we learn in the system, and when we go home, we want them to understand it. And unfortunately, it's not easy. And like I said, I don't really blame on them. The system
It's
is
part
made
of the
that
culture.
way. Yes,
Yeah.
it's part of the culture.
It's also
The
part of
system
the
is made
culture.
that way. We need to just develop the mindset to understand that, hey, when we're on time, we're saving, or maybe we're gaining something. And why, when we're late, we're losing a lot. So that they will start thinking and understand that, oh yes, it's profitable for us.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. You see, what culture, we have to start looking at our culture, because not every aspect of our culture has been very helpful to us. Because when I look at the world, everybody has culture. China has theirs, but we see development. We see, and I'm not blaming the not developmental progress of Africa on Africans alone. But what I'm saying is, and I think something that we all agree to, is us being accountable, right? Holding ourselves accountable to some of these fine details, right? Because if we can start looking at the ones, let's say we don't have jobs, but the ones we have, if we can diligently, work at it, like with the same attitude that we have here in America or outside Africa, I think that it helps us, right? And then we wait for the politicians to do what they have to do, and I think we can grow even better, right?
True. Yeah.
All right. On this note, we'll take a short break. When we come back, the conversation on the American Dream will be in the next 15 minutes. That we'll try to end the show. But if you want to call and extend some remarks, positive remarks, or comments, questions, or just congratulates the cast for this movie, just for you can go ahead and do so. The number is 815-277-5047. You can go ahead and do so now. We'll take a short break. When we come back, the show continues. This is the Progressive Minds, and I'm trying to find what we have here. Okay, we shall be right back.
Aglo Bolingbrook Lighthouse is a network of caring women. We are a dynamic global movement with a single mission to see God's purpose fulfilled on earth as it is in heaven. Our mandate is every nation touched and every heart changed for God. We invite you to our prayer meeting every Saturday and breakfast meeting held every last Saturday of the month from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. via Zoom meeting. For more information, please contact Dickness Rebecca Modi at 630-297-1471 or Reverend George Ofe Ado, our advisor, at 630-414-9505. We look forward to having a refreshing time with you in the Lord. Thank you and stay blessed.
We're back on the Progressive Mind Show. This is Alinko. We're located right here in the beautiful city of Chicago. Today is January 5th, 2022. The year has started and it's already running. If you have some things to do, don't procrastinate, don't wait, don't put it on hold. Just do it. Chip it, one day at a time. And you would be able to achieve your goals for this year. 7:16, it's 7:18 Central Time, and we will be wrapping up the conversation very soon. We have been talking to the cast from the American Dream movie. This is a story by Africans here in the beautiful city of Chicago, telling their American dream story. All right, it's a very interesting and intriguing, informative, culturally infused movie. And I think that it would give you a deeper perspective and understanding into some of the real-time issues that Africans go through here in the United States. And I'm sure that if you live in the UK or elsewhere, Europe and elsewhere, you can relate to some of the things, some of the stories that's being shared in this movie. It's on Amazon Prime, correct? Amazon Prime, if you want to check it. Yeah, please.
Amazon Prime Video.
Amazon Prime Video. See, I don't use it as much, so Amazon Prime Video.
Got to get that membership to watch the 3 movies.
Yes.
Of course. You can also watch it without being a member, though.
Actually,
yes, that's true.
I have the Amazon Prime thing, so I would.
But Fyrie's right. You don't have to be a member. You can rent the movie or purchase the movie without being a member.
Absolutely. We want people to be able to watch this movie. We have to promote it so that we can encourage this, right? So we can make more.
Yeah, we need everyone's support so we can continue making fun movies for all of you.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell us more about it, Adriana. Tell us more about your dreams, aspirations, to making more of this, and how.
Well, I consider myself, I naturally am talented when it comes to the performing arts area. I love to dance. I love to act. I love to model. I can sing too a little bit. And so I'm excited that now in my life now, I've been able to become part of Fyrie's team at Mars View Studio because it's diverse. It promotes diversity. It promotes true stories. It promotes different backgrounds. It promotes growth too. Through Fyrie's movies, we can see how we all can have different challenges throughout our lives. And we can have different phases that we go throughout our lives where there is always growth from it. And so, and I don't like to call challenges anymore at this point in my life. I like to call them learning experiences. And I'm sure Fyrie can relate, and Jabal and Tony, that all of the learning experiences that we go through in our life, they only benefit us. We become better from them. And, it was precisely being within the performing arts area years ago in my early 20s, my learning experiences, they weren't the funnest, they weren't the greatest, because I saw a lot of things that I didn't agree with within the industry, but I learned from them. And I became a better person. And because of that, I'm able to appreciate them now more, and I'm able to be excited about being part of Mars View Studio and being in these awesome movies that tell a true story about a person who came from another country chasing a dream for a better life and being ambitious and dedicated and focused. So I'm all for it. That's why I believe in Fyrie's vision. I am honored and I am grateful to be part of this team. And, this is only the beginning. We want to continue. We don't want to give up. We want to keep going because we want to keep sharing true stories. We want to keep making entertainment for all of you so that people can watch this and they can relate to it and they can feel comfort knowing that other people have also gone through the same thing they have gone through. And yet here they are making movies, being on Amazon Prime Video. It speaks big of Fyrie, and we respect them, and that's why we're with them. So please support us, watch the movies, rent them, buy them, because we want to keep bringing all this awesome stuff to all of you.
Thank you so much for sharing. We need that. We need to support each other. Telling our own story is where it is, right? We got to tell our own stories. We don't want BBC to come make a documentary.
No.
Exactly. And when we can use our own talent too, it's even that more special. So that's why we're trying to,
before
support us, rent the movie, buy the movie. Like we want to keep, we need the funds to keep making this stuff so that we can continue to support each other. And hey, we want to get to a point where we're casting more people, right, Fyrie? Fyrie wants to be able to cast more people of our, from all different types of backgrounds.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing.
And if I can say something too.
Before you go, something funny that I wanted to say. When Adriana was talking, she said, when I was in my early 20s, I'm like, what? Okay, I thought you were in your early 20s already. I'm like, wait.
Thank you so much. I do want to look young forever, so that's a beautiful comment. You made my night. Yeah, my early 20s. I'm 31. Okay.
Nice.
But I've been doing this stuff since my early 20s, but I wasn't as confident as I am now. I've gone through learning experiences in life, and I wasn't as confident, so I was easily misguided, And I didn't know how to say no, right? I didn't know how to stand my ground and say no, I don't want to do that or whatever. So but now I'm in a different phase, and I'm happy to be with Marsview Studio, and I'm happy to be with this group of people. We're all diverse, we all come from different we can all relate to each other in one way or another, which is, I think, is beautiful. And we all want to strive, and we all want to become successful, and we want to support one another.
Absolutely.
Which is sometimes hard to find in our cultures.
Yeah.
Supporting one another.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
There's
Jabal.
this thing where, you got to kind of make it on your own. And that, at least that's what I've experienced kind of in my culture, where you got to, we're taught in an early age, you got to get out there, you got to work. If you want this, you got to go and you got to get it. But I feel like sometimes there's a lack of support as to, let me support you here. I can support you this way or whatever. But now that Marsview Studio, we kind of have this group thing going on where all of us want to see each other become successful. It doesn't matter who becomes more successful than who at what point. We just want to grow together as a group and cheer each other on. And because of that, I think we need to take advantage of that. And we need to continue promoting ourselves in these movies so that people can support us and we can continue those good vibes.
Yeah.
Continue them on and
the good vibe.
Spread that good energy.
Awesome. Awesome. Jabal, please go ahead with your point.
Yeah, Adriana is actually saying so many beautiful things, and I want to keep going on the same way to invite people to support, and just look at something very interesting about this is that Fiery is talking about his story, like he came from Africa and decided and he fell in the system. He learned from it. He started doing these movies, and one of his movies is talking about his own experience as an immigrant in the United States. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Because so this is like someone who didn't know anything about this country, and finally was able to learn from this system, from this country, and being able to realize something like this, talking about his own story. It's not going to be BBC or any other channel who will be talking about him. Yeah, he was able. That means he learned something, and he's able now to show what he learned through this movie, because we know all what comes in the movie, everything, like the writing the scripts and everything, stuff like that, shooting the videos, knowing exactly what to do, positions of the cameras and everything, and he was able to do that. I think that's very encouraging. I mean, that's something that we should encourage. Yeah, we should encourage someone like that, because he had an idea. Maybe he didn't have it at the time he landed in the United States, but with along the time, he was able to think about something like that and create. And that's really, to me, is like, he's an inspiration to me. Fiery is he's a genius to me. And I think every immigrant, every African coming in the United States should take example from Fiery and learn how to achieve the American dream. That's that's the thing. I don't know if he's still on the way, or maybe he achieved already. But I would say that's a real great.
Before you add to it, I want to give the number out again: 815-277-5047. Maybe you're watching, just call. You're watching and you're listening. Sometimes all you need to do is just call to encourage somebody, or you can share on the feed. This is what we have to be doing. And you can share the feed on Facebook too, right? Because we want to be able to promote this. If we're not building it from the foundation, from the grassroots, we can't grow. Like you hear them say, you heard them. They want to grow. So please, let's support this wonderful movie. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to say that what I've been hearing from Adriana and Jabal and my other team members, I'm very, very honored. And as much as they believe in me, I believe in them as well. And I'm pretty sure we're up to a great success. And I'm a little scared now because giving up is no longer an option.
You
Don't
can,
worry,
man. You can.
we're here to
You
push
never
you
gonna
on.
live. You
We're
never
here
gonna
to
give
push
up,
you on so
man.
you don't give up right here. We're gonna help you with the mental strength.
Because you know what, Alinko, for people to, I know everyone has their own dream. Everyone has things that they wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
But for them to place their dream or to tie it up to yours,
Yeah.
you pretty much you're doing something good.
Yeah, you are.
And you have to be you're lucky,
Yeah.
basically.
And you're
Yeah.
blessed.
You're blessed.
And you got to be proud of yourself.
Yeah, you're blessed.
Yeah.
So that part scares me a little bit. But
And that's why we love working. That's why we love working with you, Fiery, because at the same time you're so humble and you're so real with it, and at the same time professional. And so, like Jabal said, you're a genius. Like what you're doing, it's admirable and it's worthy of support all the way, 100%. So
And you have to make me a superstar. So please don't leave now.
Wow, I am so proud.
Jabal, you got a little taste of it now, huh? I feel you.
Yeah, he
We're
made
trying
me
to get
try.
that
He made
big
me
taste.
try. I want to have it.
Seriously, I'm so proud that you guys are doing this, and Fiery for spearheading this and doing this for Africans, Black people. Like I'm very proud of you, the way you're telling the story, and I can just see more of this coming. Before you know it, Tyler Perry will give you a call and want to do a collaboration.
Yes.
So it's so guys, let's please support the entire African community in Chicago, in Illinois, West, Midwest, East Coast, wherever it is. Please, in the United States, period, in Africa, let's support this movie. The American Dream is the beginning of great things. The first one is what's it? I've forgotten the title. I just played it.
The Standoff.
The Standoff.
That's another movie, which is that's more of like a fun kind of fictional story.
Were you in that
relationships?
Oh,
no. But I saw it. I watched it and I loved it.
Okay.
I was laughing a lot actually.
So,
I texted Fiery right away after I watched it. I was impressed.
Kofi, and I want you all to say some shout outs to some of the other crew members who are not here. But Kofi, I want you to start with it, and I want you to say it in French. You and Jabal.
Oh, you want us to go in French?
Yeah. So your French, your viewers, some of the French followers,
Oh, okay.
Just mix it up. Yeah.
Okay. Je voulais seulement.
I know it's difficult to switch. It's difficult.
Come on.
Maybe Jabal can do it better, but for
me,
come on, Fiery, you can do it.
Yeah, let's start with Jabal. While you recalibrate, okay? Jabal.
Are you not sure that if I start, he's probably gonna give up? Because okay, yeah. So. Bonsoir à tous et à toutes. Vraiment, c'est un plaisir de vous savoir présent en train de nous regarder à travers cette chaîne de Progressive Minds. C'est un réel plaisir, je vous l'ai tantôt dit. Et j'aimerais inviter autant que cela se peut tous ceux qui sont des Africains ou alors peu importe des immigrants venus de n'importe quel coin du monde à soutenir ce jeune homme qui s'appelle Fiery, qu'on appelle aussi Kofi dans le film. À travers ses projets, parce qu'il a de très, très beaux projets. Il a tellement de belles choses qu'il réalise tous les jours. Et les gens aiment ce qu'il fait, parce qu'il a de l'inspiration. C'est un génie, je l'ai dit tantôt. C'est quelqu'un qui pousse, n'est-ce pas, à l'encouragement. Et j'aimerais que tous ensemble, on prenne une minute, n'est-ce pas, pour aller sur les sites Amazon, essayer de télécharger ces films. Il en a 3 actuellement. Il a le Standoff. Il a le American Dream Part 1 et Part 2. Donc, j'aimerais inviter tous ceux qui peuvent, n'est-ce pas, qui se reconnaissent en des talents au travers de ce jeune, n'est-ce pas, j'aimerais les inviter à aller le soutenir en achetant ses films. Ça ne coûte absolument pas grand-chose. Je ne sais réellement pas quelles sont vos situations financières, mais je suis sûr que rien qu'à y voir le prix, vous saurez que le film, vous pouvez le regarder. Alors, n'hésitez surtout pas, faites-lui confiance et surtout, ça lui permettra de continuer à développer, n'est-ce pas, son industrie cinématographique. Je vous remercie, je vous souhaite une bonne et heureuse année 2022. C'était un réel plaisir de vous savoir parmi nous ce soir. Merci.
Wow.
Yeah, merci, oui. Sounded great. That was excellent.
Come on.
All right, now, yeah, Kofi, I'm sure you're ready to.
Now I'm ready.
That was a good. That was a good. A warm up for Kofi.
Bonsoir à tous mes amis. Je m'appelle Kofi Hemaje, comme alias Fiery. Je suis un Togolais résident aux États-Unis. J'ai commencé à faire des films. J'ai déjà réalisé 2 films, dont le Standoff et The American Dream, le rêve américain, qui est sur Amazon Prime. Donc, je vous invite tous d'aller sur Amazon Prime Video et regarder le film et me donner des conseils et me donner des feedbacks. Ça ne coûte rien, ça coûte seulement peut-être $5. Donc, je vous invite tous. On a besoin de votre support. Donc, allez sur Amazon Prime Video et regardez le film. Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Yeah, the boss spoke. You know something
Awesome.
I wanted to add too, because I want people to understand how precious these movies are. The Stand-Up is amazing. And The American Dream, part 1 and 2, like we have mentioned, is based off a true story, and it's based off of Fiery's true story coming to America. It doesn't only portray his transition, coming from Africa to America, it also portrays other learning life experiences that he had in relationships and finding out some big news that he did not expect to receive from a girlfriend, and then getting into another relationship. So it shows a lot of different experiences that a lot of different people we can all relate to. And that's why, we want to invite people to support us even more. Watch the movies, buy them and watch them, because it shows a lot of different things that happened in his life that I'm sure most people can relate to.
Right. Is there, quickly, our time is past, but is there any other aspect that you think people can relate to? Not you think people can relate to, but is there any other aspect that you would want to share on this platform? Share on this platform that people can be expecting to see in this movie, that, let's say, maybe a powerful scene or a powerful interesting scene or aspect of the story that you would want to share, just like Adriana did. Jabal, quickly.
Yes, there is a part very important to me, because I feel like it's like the best part of the movie. It's the part where Kofi. It's actually at the end of the movie, because during the movie, Kofi the character Kofi did something bad to a young lady who was in love with him, and she got pregnant and she gave birth. He wasn't there to assist her, but at the end of the movie, he's trying to reconnect with her, to take care of his responsibilities concerning the girl, concerning the baby. He's like it's like the story of a young man who got in the United States without knowing everything, trying to get himself in the system, trying to know things about this country, but found himself trapped. And because of, like, I would say, his own behaviors, that at first he thought he was good, he was acting good, but finally realized it was a bad way that he was taking. But finally came back to the reality and accepted to embrace the responsibilities that was belonging to him. And that is a very, very interesting part of this movie. I'm still watching the movie. You know, I'm watching the
It's
movie.
to do the right thing.
Exactly, teaching people how to do the right thing, taking good decisions, because I mean, you might be hurting someone somewhere without even knowing it. And yes, that movie has a lot of instructive things. I would say a lot of things to learn about how to behave in society, how to behave with people around us. And yeah, when I'm watching it, I'm always like, oh my God,
yeah,
this was like a great idea from a young man like him. Like, yeah,
Kofi, yeah. So thank you so much, Joanna and Jabal, for sharing. Kofi, from your perspective too, any particular scene, just like you shared, anything that jumps at you that you want to share, so people can look forward to?
Yeah, definitely. To me, the part that intrigued me the most is the part where everything kind of collapsed for me. The part where I felt like I had to I had to start all over. That was the moment. That was the part where it really intrigued me, because that was also my story. So playing that, I'm kind of like recalling what happened, what had happened. So to me, that part is the intriguing part for me when people watch the movie.
When you watch The American Dream, produced by Mars View Studio, is that correct?
That is correct.
You would learn, you will be inspired, you would get to see deeper into the African immigrant community and some of the things that we struggle with. It will also help clear your misconceptions, some of the stereotypes that you may have heard or seen about the African community or African people, or even the diaspora. It may help you clear some of these misconceptions because, again, these are African immigrants who are telling the story, not in a negative way, but even though you might see some bad stories, is the bad all, it's all coming together for the good. Is to say that we come here with a clear heart, with a clear mind, just to add value to the American dream, to live the American dream. But in the process of doing this, we may step on toes, we may act in a way or the other that we did not intend, especially if it goes the wrong way. If you see us doing something negative, or if you see us in a negative light, we probably don't intend it, but it's just that we are trying to assimilate. And this movie actually helps you to understand us better before you even talk to us. So it helps the diaspora, it helps the African community to unite better and to try to relate and try to work together in this dispensation of ours. So we want to encourage everyone to go see The American Dream. On that note, we will bring this episode to an end. And next week, hopefully, I can get some of these members, some of the guests on this crew for that conversation that we want to have, Africans and the diaspora. I want to put it that way. It's not just African Americans and Africans, but it's Africans in the diaspora. Very interesting conversation. So make a date with us next week, Wednesday. But again, we'll be giving you the details. Guys, it's been a pleasure having you, the cast and the producer of the American Dream movie that is on Amazon Prime Videos right now. You can go and watch it. Please, let's help support this great movie. We can encourage more of telling the story by ourselves. Guys, your final words, and I want you to give shout outs to your friends and loved ones at home, some of the crew members who are not here. So in your closing remarks, please do so. And I want to start with, okay, you all decide who should end the closing remarks. I'm not going to tell you.
Fiery will end.
Okay.
I want to go ahead and
go ahead
and say thank you. First of all, thank you to all of those people who have watched the movie already, And to those who are thinking about watching the movie, we are really, really happy. At the end of the last year, we were thinking about ways to promote this movie, and this platform is actually giving us a chance. Thank you so much to Progressive Minds. A big shout out to John McDonnell, who's in the movie, one of the the members of the crew, and he's just great as an actor. uh, to me he's the best, and I want to say shout out to the rest of the crew. I want to thank again my family who have been supporting, sharing the links, sharing the different topics, talking about the different pictures and everything on social media, talking about the American dream and the standoff. I want to invite people to go on Amazon and purchase the movies, the different movies from the Marcia Studio. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jabal, for your words. Adriana, please.
Well, first off, I would like to say thank you to the rest of the crew who are a part of Mars View Studio. I recently just joined the production team, but I see that other crew members believe in Fiery just as much as I do, if not more, and they're so supportive of him and they're so hardworking. So I want to say thank you to the rest of the crew members, and I want to say thank you for welcoming me into the team. I'm excited for us to continue to grow together and keep doing fun things like we have. I want to say thank you to the people too who are supporting, renting, and buying the movies. I would like to tell all of you to please spread the word, motivate and encourage your loved ones, your friends, your coworkers, anybody. Tell them about the 3 different movies of this amazing producer, Fiery, that are on Amazon Prime Video, and encourage them to buy them and to rent them.
Thank you so much, Adriana. Fiery, please.
Okay. I want to thank the rest of the crew that are not here today. Thank you so much for all you have done. Thank you for bringing this movie, this idea to life. I want to thank the Progressive Mind Show. Thank you for having us on. We really appreciate it. I want to thank my wife. She has been wonderful. She has been supporting me since day one. I made it here because of her as well. So I want to thank her. I want to thank all my fans. I want to thank everyone that was involved. And I'm really, really, really grateful to all the support that I'm getting. And I'm inviting all of you to go to Amazon Prime Video and watch The American Dream. It's only $5. So thank you. And thank you to the Progressive Mind Show.
Thank you, my brother Fiery, your crew, and the I'll say the production team that helped make this show a success. Ehi, Amanda, all the crew, thank you so much for your help. Like I said, we're still looking for some volunteers. Anyway, in any form that you can help the Progressive Mind Show, please reach out to us. info.progressiveminds@gmail.com. Our social media is available. You can also reach us through there. You can go on our website, thepmsshow.com, thepmsshow.com, or you can donate. You can also donate to us on the same website. It goes a long way in helping the production and with everything we're doing. Lastly, I would like to say that the exchange ceremony, it will not be coming off as some of you have seen. We did not embark on heavy promotion because we were trying to look at the Omicron situation. And I know we guys, we didn't get the chance to talk about how COVID has affected members of your family and our community, but it has really, yeah, it's big time. Maybe another time we get to do so. So please stay safe and do the necessary things you can to stay away from catching the COVID. So due to the COVID and Omicron and all that we're hearing, this event in February may not come on. We will give you specific details as to when it's going to come on, but when it does, it's going to be amazing. It's the only kind of event that brings the diaspora together to celebrate our culture through cultural performances, awards, speakers, of course, food is the only one. and you will not want to miss it. But it's coming live. It's going to come on. But so stay tuned to get more details regarding this. To whom much, and I really want to thank Fiery again individually. I want to thank Jabal. I want to thank Adriana. Tony, I know your feed had some technical issues, but thank you for being on earlier, and your contribution to this show is really much appreciated. Everyone that joined us, a few folks on the Facebook feed. We had Adele, Masip, Marigo, Mboa. Bri was also here. She said absolutely. That was to a point that was made earlier. Rebecca joined us. Thank you, Rebecca.
Oh, thank you, Rebecca.
Yes.
Thank you to all of you who are tuned in. That means a lot to us.
Absolutely. We
Thank
have
you.
Sylvain Late Lawson. You are doing amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, Alinko, for having us. By the way, I love the title of your show, Progressive Minds.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Whoever came up with the title.
Who else?
Go Ghana! love the title. Very nice.
Thank you. So if it's not Ghana doing something wonderful with Progressive Minds, then it's Togo doing something wonderful with Mars View, right?
Exactly.
You got it.
You got Latin America supporting Africa here
Absolutely.
too. You know?
At the end of the day,
Yeah, we're all together.
Yes, you have Africans.
Come from the motherland.
Exactly. Africans, African diasporans working together and living our excellence. That's who we are. We're just excellent people. And so we're just exhibiting who we are. Johnny Woods was also here. Johnny Woods said something in French. Je vous, I don't know. Je vous, what's that?
Je vous remercie.
What does that mean?
I'm thanking you guys.
Oh, okay.
I'm thanking you.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Johnny Woods. Great job, Senator Lincoln. Oh, Wilson Atiebet is also here. Hey, this man's a tax guy. So if you guys want your taxes,
the CPA Wilson.
The CPA guy. Yes.
He's also my tax doer.
Yes, yeah. So we do have a powerful resources in our community. We have great people in our community, and so here we are, world. Here is the African people. We are coming. We've always been here, right? But we're going to be doing more. And so, guys, really want to thank you to everyone that has watched this show and shared it. God bless you for helping promote the American Dream on Amazon. Go and see the movie. Encourage someone also to see it so we can promote it. If it was Spider-Man 2 right now, you guys be rushing to go see Spider-Man. You've been watching Spider-Man all these years. And now let's watch some African stories.
Watch some true stories.
There you go. True stories. You like
authentic.
Yes, I don't know, like
full of flavor.
Yeah. With no fake effects.
You should
all real.
I think that should be your marketing spokesperson.
I am. You can check us out on Instagram at Mars Studio. You'll see me there promoting the movies.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
On that note, hey guys, again, to whom much is given, much is required. This has been your host, Alinko, with the Progressive Mind Show. Next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Same time, we shall be here. Remember to keep safe. Be healthy, okay? Be healthy.
Thank you.
Drink a lot of fluid and tea this season. It's going to help you. Bye-bye. Good night, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Thank you.